Alright, so I was gonna do a modern PPTQ, but then I saw it was like 30 tickets to enter, and I'm like, ugh, 30 tickets for like a 6 hour event. So I'm doing an 8-man with Splinter Twin, a deck that I really don't have a ton of experience with. So as you can tell already, I kept a very poor hand. And my opponent's on mono green devotion in modern. Um, and for those who watch this and have watched my stream in the past, you would know that I actually was the first person to come up with the idea for mono green Nykthos uh, in whatever it's called in modern. But regardless, aside from that, let's get back to the game here. That was actually one of the cards I had in the deck. Predator Ruse. I thought it'd be a great way to get devotion, and also it's extremely hard to kill. The only way to kill it is, in modern at least, is to either counter it before it enters the battlefield or to Path to Exile or Liliana. And if you're not playing Lily or Path, it's a very powerful card. So he's going to try and play a Burning Tree Emissary. Is that it? Burning Tree Shaman? Names of cards, man. So he's clearly he wants to get that into play, get his devotion up. Me, I need to fetch, get some lands out of the deck. Today I felt like going with the Mirage lands. Alright, so Grim Lavamancer, I understand why it's in the main, and it's very powerful in the main, and again, in the mirror match, or against, let's see, I don't know, it's alright in the main. I just think that, in a world where Tarmogoyfs are getting large, I mean, it can dictate the power and toughness of a Goyf, but, it's I feel like it's relatively weak, but maybe should be sideboard. Alright, so he's Eternal Witnessing to get back his Burning Tree. He played a Garrick, which will ram him up. But to be completely honest with you, that says to me that he has a Nykthos in his hand, and he needs to get up his devotion. Because although he does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, he wants to get, well, okay, the original iterations of this deck, Genesis Wave. Oh, I'm gonna bolt his Garrick, by the way. You would basically Genesis Wave into like Craterhoof Behemoth. Now they're playing Tooth and Nail for Emrakul and Xenagos, which makes it like a 30-30 with haste. Now I can Cryptic the land that makes 2 mana, but I'm not going to bother doing that here. Getting his Garrick down to 1 was very good, because while, the main purpose of it in this deck is to untap lands. Okay, wait, first off, he's going to make a huge mistake right here. Don't cast a spell before you attack when your opponent leaves up Cryptic mana. I mean, that's like pretty blatant. But, Garrick also can, get Garrick can Garrick can put 3/3s in play, and the beatdown plan sometimes is just better than the ramp up to massive amount of mana plan. So he's see, that seems so weird, right? He played one of his ramp lands before he Genesis Wave, which means I think he lost a mana on that. Also now, Cryptic, I'm going to tap down all his creatures, but I could also bounce the plains, not the plains, the forest. Wow, I can't even say the names of basic lands. The forest that has all the enchantments on it. But, it doesn't really matter. Just when you have Cryptic mana, when your opponent represents Cryptic like that, just don't. Don't just attack first. You know, it would pressure me because I'd be looking at. Also, I'm just gonna kill his Garrick outright here because I don't like the prospect of dealing with Garrick doing stuff next turn. But you know, he would have attacked me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He would attack me for 6, and I can't block with the Lavamancer. So I would have taken at least a minimum of 4, put me at 7. It might have changed my plays somewhat. Now, there's a slight chance he could have been playing a pump spell there, whether it be Aspect of Hydra or something else like that. But I figure I'm gonna go for the combo kill here. I probably also should have. That was a mistake on my part. I should have played the Deceiver Exarch during his combat step on his forest, so that way he wouldn't have been able to use the mana, and then, because even if you tap it and leave the mana floating, as soon as you go to the second main phase, it goes away. So I probably should have done that, and then I could have just blocked something, but whatever, I'm just going to play Exarch, and barring that he has main deck enchantment removal, which I seriously doubt. Then that should be game. As long as, Moto's doing that whole thing where it starts to, go insane. And I hope he doesn't sit there and make me try and make tokens, because, to be honest, my Moto was lagging a little bit, and I did not feel like, sometimes this can be really grindy. So now, against certain decks, you can go the beatdown route and forget about the combo entirely, which does make a little bit of sense. But in this matchup, the things I'm worried about are Corrosion Grip and like naturalized style effects. So I think I'm just going to focus on the combo. I'm going to take out one twin. I'm going to bring in 2 spell cases, deal with anything but Corrosion Grip. I could bring in Jace, although Jace isn't amazing here. Keranos isn't amazing here. Batterskull's not great. EE's not amazing. Yeah, they're all alright. Okay, this is a bad hand. It's got all the cards, just not a good hand. This hand, it's not amazing. But what's good about it, it has just enough disruption in it to, hopefully if I hit that second land, I'm feeling pretty good. So, he doesn't have Arbor Elf turn 1, which is nice. Drawing a second Splinter Twin was not on my list of things to do. Now, when you're mana screwed and you have a fetch land in play, don't be hasty, don't go for the end of turn crack it, because by cracking it, you're actually lowering your odds of drawing a second land. Which sounds a little odd, yes, but it's true. So I made a huge misplay there. I actually lowered my odds of drawing a second land. There's nothing wrong with leaving it in play and not doing anything with it. So that's a choke, and yeah, about that. I lose. He's just gonna be able to ramp and do things. Like, even if he has nothing in hand, just the sheer amount of turns that he has to do things, I would need an excessive amount of lands to break through that. So I'm just gonna scoop here. Now, as I'm playing this deck, now I like to work. Yeah, it would have taken. Yeah, I was dead. Regardless of, I could have stalled out, but time, especially when you're playing Splinter Twin, time is definitely important. So I'm going to bring in Batterskull. What's good about Batterskull is that it kind of gets around choke, and that you can use your mana. I can go for a basic mountain or something like that and not be punished for it. So this is okay. His deck is mainly creatures, but if I can stop Garrick, and if I can stop Tooth and Nail, then that's what's important. I'm okay taking 19 points of damage, not so much taking, not so much getting Emerald. So that's fine, as long as I'm not dead. Here, I'm just going to go for... I need to get the mana up to negate a possible choke. Choke is not good. So let's hope he doesn't go turn 2 choke. Although I have no problem negating it. It just means that if I do negate it, I can no longer stop right now. I can no longer stop Tooth and Nail. Burning Tree. It's fine. If I was worried about a Nykthos here, I would have bolted it right away. But, oh, actually, wait. Yeah, I would have bolted it right away. So I'm going to, because I'm worried that he's gonna... I don't want him to get out of Nykthos and be able to generate enough mana to, play spells that I can't deal with. Wow, that is a lot. Now, I like to, when I play a deck, though, that's going to be good until Dragons of Tarkir is released on Moto and that 1 mana Combust comes out. I like to work on a deck and find out what's wrong with it. And this deck completely lacks, it lacks enchantment removal. You could splash Ancient Grudge, but you can't splash like the other stuff you need. So, a thing like Wear and Tear, which is so useful in so many matchups, you just don't have it here. So I'm thinking I may, instead of splashing green, splash white. That's fine though. He could play that. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so I'm gonna tap his land. That would be the time. Ah, crap. If he had Corrosion Grip, then that was a good play, and then a land off the top would have meant I won. Alright, he has 2 lands. I need to work on this deck a little bit, Like every deck. Every deck needs work. I just don't think Blue-Red Twin is great. I do have Redirect in the sideboard, by the way. I think that's hilarious. I'm going to block. I'm not going to block here. There's no reason. I'm under no pressure. He's got 2 lands in his hand. 1 land in his hand. Plus or minus. If I draw another land, though, that gives me access to another counterspell, so I can kind of twin without getting worried about it. Alright, there we go. So, I'm just going to play lands, do this whole thing, put that on that, make infinite creatures, and see you guys in the next round.